Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Batwoman Season 1, Episode 17, A Narrow Escape. It has been a long time since the last Batwoman, bloody COVID. Obviously there's far worse things in the world than the fact that we've had to wait a long time, but I have been desperate for this episode and I'm scared to watch it. I mean, I know that there was a lot of... I know some people were very angry at Kate after the last episode, but at the end of the day, Alice is a serial killer who has shown no sign of stopping. Like, okay, on this one mission she didn't kill anyone, but throughout this series, it has been Kate giving Alice a chance and Alice throwing it in her face. So Kate not now being able to trust that. I mean, how could you trust that? And yeah, I totally agree that Arkham is the last place I would want Alice. I would want Alice in a proper prison for the criminally insane. But at the end of the day, that is Gotham's prison for the criminally insane. I'm intrigued as to whether or not the general, like, does Kate, etc., know just how bad Gotham is? You know, like, Gotham isn't like a normal mental institution. Gotham is like, Arkham. In Gotham, it's not normal. That's not kind of, at least I hope, if, you know, you do some inspections maybe, but like that isn't what it should be like. Alice should be arrested, Alice should be sent to some sort of mental institution, or at the very least, highly secure mental institution. You know, that's what she deserves. I love her as a character and I would love it so much for the long run of the show for her to be redeemed into at least, you know, a vaguely good character. You know, she doesn't have to be through and through good, but on the side of the good guys and not just kind of murdering left, right and centre innocent people. But I think for her character sticking in the show long term, that's what I'd want. But I also think that, yeah, you know, she's where Kate made the right call, and I'm actually proud of Kate because I know how hard that would have been for her. I'm also loving Mary and Luke, and I really hope that Mary is going to tell Kate, you know, she's Batwoman this episode. But I'm sure there's a lot of drama and emotions ready because this show, we're already 17 episodes in, which is a fair way into season 1, but it's only season 1 and I'm already like desperately caring about these characters. So I cannot wait, let's go. Kate living the quarantine lifestyle.
Hey, is there any more wine?
Is this in Alice's mind?
I'm already my life locked in a basement. So.
You could have had a relationship like this if
That's one way to take someone's head.
Alice had just tried to take the chances Kate gave her. But this is her in her mind, isn't it?
Is this really happening? What?
Us? No.
Playing video games.
It's what you could have had.
Like actual sisters. For never giving up on me.
She did.
It's like I've always said.
I mean,
you're worth it.
Alice pushed her to a point where she had to give up on her. And I still think that, you know, Kate would...
That's not a bad connection, is it?
If it was kill her or not kill her, Kate would choose her, but...
Let me stay.
You could have had this, Alice. Kate gave you every chance, but ultimately, she doesn't deserve this. She really doesn't deserve this. She needs proper psychiatric care, not this. Oh dear. I mean, that was his own fault for starting a fight near the stairs, but Kate is stressed about killing people because she doesn't want to be a killer. But I mean, that's a pure and simple accident in a fight.
Wake up!
He's alive, he's alive.
Up here!
You gotta go now.
Batwoman, you got...
Don't take the mask off, sweetheart. I know you're having a bit of a panic attack. You really have to keep that mask on, sweetheart. You're still in public. Please.
Answer me,
To Luke. I mean, not right now. Right now I need to get back to Wayne Tower. Oh dear. Oh dear.
hell?
Simply push the yellow button,
It's gonna kill
which will
himself.
trigger a second bomb I've planted somewhere else in Gotham.
Oh.
That's right. You disarm your bomb to save yourself.
So it's
allowing
choose
countless
himself
others
or
to
other
die.
people.
The choice should be easy, right?
It
A
really
hero
should,
would do
but...
anything for his city. Would you?
Oh, it's... A lot of people would choose that. No one would know what they would actually do until...
Now here's
What happened? I was helping a guy out of the bomb wreckage and the ceiling collapsed. The real one is MIA and the city still has PTSD from when Batman left. I thought maybe
The
if
real
people
one's
saw
having a
me
bit of
and believed that
PTSD
she
or
was
at
still
least
around,
trauma.
then I'm the last person Batwoman would ever confide in.
Mary, I really wish Kate... I mean, Mary made it very obvious she knew, but Kate is also not in a good place. She's also still living the quarantine life.
Screw up and kill someone else. I see. You
won't,
want to
though.
punish yourself.
To live in the shadows.
You think they'd put Mouse and Alice in different groups?
He claimed
Not
it was
this
for
places
my
any
own
semblance
good
of
to
actual
avoid
psychiatry.
ridicule. I'm unburdening myself.
You won't, Alice.
I will not rest until his
Is he going to be his next target because he's standing up for injustices? I'm good with her being someone that helps Sophie move on. Oh, Luke, my love. He knows that his father's killer's still out there.
New? Maybe he's gone underground.
Sweetheart, tell him.
You've been away.
Why do you think I'm here?
Because he doesn't understand why
know
you're
about the
falling
detonator?
apart, my love.
7 years ago.
The military deemed you not good enough, and now that very thing is gonna save your city's ass. I'm just gonna leave that little piece of irony right there. And can be glad their heroes are bomb-proof. Now that kind of blast will knock off limbs and topple buildings. But
She
if
doesn't
you
want to
see
put that on.
any
That's why you need to.
evidence
Luke is your best friend. He will understand, okay? I know that you've only known him for a few months, but
You would not want me to suit up either.
oh, I need Kate to open up to him and Mary. She deserves it. So she wanted him to attack her and stab her so she could get the medical thing, or so she could get the gun, the knife. Wouldn't you look for where the knife was that had stabbed her? Dear. I knew he was going to be the next target. I mean, I think we all did, but is he going to be an actual hero or is he going to do it? I think it's hard because part of you might be able to try and convince yourself that that bomb isn't there. Or that it's not actually going to hurt anyone else.
You're bleeding.
We need to clear that mile in less than a half hour. Bobby, you still with me?
It's probably a police officer or someone on the inside. Because they've never really said anything public.
Isn't that right by
Mary.
Oh gosh.
are to take. Come on.
Oh, Mary. Mary's
Not leaving them.
a true hero.
Go.
Bring the detonator knew he was proving someone was a hero. That guy checking which way to go with his clear barricades.
Here. These people need help.
She wants to be a hero because Kate's inspired her. That's what Kate needs to
everyone
see.
on the ground.
I mean, she needs to stop going around
they
being a
can't
hero
move.
because.
Mary.
Oh, Kate runs straight to her sister.
GCP. Okay,
Oh
Bobby.
dear. He could kill both his daughters. Well, two of his daughters. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mandatory lockdowns, we've all been there. Do they get 1 hour exercise a day? I haven't been outside in months. Okay. Mary needs to be okay now. Kate's okay. Mary needs to be okay. Oh dear, the Batwoman impersonator. Okay, sweetheart, this should make you feel proud. I mean, this should be one off, but I don't know. There's people you can help and that have been helped. And please talk to Mary or to Luke. Because you're not coping with this by yourself, my love.
Because you inspired them and now they feel abandoned.
She's telling us she knows.
Please. Kate. I know you're Batwoman.
Oh.
I mean, Batwoman's the same girl who hunted down Derek Peters and locked him in a urinal after he ditched me at homecoming. And of course, it couldn't be more obvious. Batwoman is the same person I've looked up to my entire life. And
I
now
love
this
Mary
city
so
needs you
much.
as much as I do.
It's not that simple.
It never is. But Batwoman doesn't get a sick day.
I'm so
hero,
glad that she
Mary.
knows that
I'm
Mary
not
knows.
asking you to be a hero. I'm just asking you to keep going.
Oh. Oh god, that line really hit me.
And how are we feeling today, Johnny?
God, this is wrong. Like,
I
I
had
just.
another moment of clarity.
They need to be in
Dr. Butler.
proper psychiatric mental institutions that are completely
What
insane.
was that?
Power.
Oh gosh, did he stab him? I mean, this guy's a
Feel that,
torturer, so.
Dr. Butler. Reality now.
Sorry, that's not funny because he kills him. Like, in reality, I'm not okay with him being killed. He maybe also should have been locked up somewhere for the criminally insane that doesn't torture. I shouldn't have just done with the criminals because he's not insane.
Eviscerating all evidence linking him back to whoever hired him.
So this
In the
detonator
last
is a
week
cover
alone,
story
everyone with any knowledge of your father's
for
real murder
this.
has
That
been
is a really
killed.
good way to do it.
We think the
Use an old-
detonator hired the
The
sniper.
real detonator died 7 years ago.
Which means that we're looking for someone who's
Wouldn't Sophie
intimately
be like,
familiar
"How do
with
you
the
know
detonator's
that?"
case.
But who'd have had access to? This guy's hands are in everything.
Yeah.
I want every piece behind him before he strikes again.
Oh god. He's literally striking again right now. You're next. I knew you were suspicious.
You left Cartwright for me to
You made a
find.
mistake,
You wanted
but it's
to push
up
me
to
over the
you
edge.
where you go
Sent
with
me to
it.
kill him.
And you made a mistake with someone
that I would
that,
be like you.
out of anyone you could have picked, deserved it the most.
Asking you to be a hero. And just
keep
asking you
going.
to keep going.
I love Mary, and I love her relationship with Kate so much. You got this, Kate. You know what it's gonna say at this point. You've got this, Kate. Just keep going. And then maybe talk to Mary and or Luke. Oh goodness. Luke's the next target. Crap. Wayne Tower's not gonna blow. I have faith. Although maybe that would make Bruce come back. I just want to know why Bruce left.
Ask Commander Kane.
This is now very personal for Kate.
Bombs at Wayne Tower.
Says who?
An associate.
Who'd you think?
Clear the area around Wayne.
He's doing the right thing. It's
You move
when
the
that
chocolate
it's the
tablet with
moment
the
of
timer.
zero.
It
But
blows.
Him alive.
oh, Luke.
What are you doing?
Introducing myself
Kate needs to tell him
to the guy who killed
what
my father.
she did
Get up.
and how it's affected her, and they can bond. This is why they should have talked. Talk to him now.
But you're not that fast.
Come on, Kate, tell Luke, because this is
just-
exactly how you were with
Gunter,
Wainwright.
why
Cartwright.
did you rich ass hat Tommy Elliott?
Why would Tommy Elliott want Lucius Fox dead?
Was writing? What journal? No idea. All I know is that Tommy was obsessed with it. To his kid. You. That set him off. He charged.
You died trying to
I pulled the
protect
trigger.
Luke.
And then it was just covering up. Oh!
Please, Kate, you need to talk to him now. Because this is exactly where you were.
It's my fault. City's in lockdown because of me.
Robles going rogue? Is
Jacob
not
Kane
your
is
fault.
COVID-19.
Looks like we're stuck with each other then.
Look, we need to get out of here.
Ship them as an in the meantime ship.
My dad and I.
Please notice something's up with Kate and then get Kate to tell you why something's up with her.
He took everything from
That's
me.
exactly what Cartwright did to you.
Killing him. It won't change what happened to your dad.
Tell him what it's done to you, sweetheart.
I killed Cartwright.
What?
And she had to tell
What?
him.
I didn't want to suit up because I feel like a fraud in this thing.
I'm
I had
so glad
every
she
chance to
told
stop
him.
myself and I
And
didn't.
stopped him from making the same mistake she did.
The world is short on heroes.
You're here.
Not let your anger turn you into someone that you are not.
Oh god. Run, 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 run.
Grab his arms.
Oh my goodness, that was close. So does that guy know who Batwoman is now? And that she killed someone?
Robles gave up everyone and took part in Harris's frame job to avoid the death
Good.
penalty. We are draining the swamp. Putting
Oh
a new
God, don't use
strike
that
team in
phrase,
place,
please.
And you?
So I just got off the phone with my agency.
So she's sticking around.
Apparently I've been you were buying.
Okay, this will be good for Sophie, I think.
You'll get yours at
I mean,
orientation.
it's kind of weird that she's Kate's ex, but hey.
Bomb squad just left.
They need to
They're gonna
talk,
ask
and then she needs to talk to
follow-up
Mary.
questions, but since I should be thanking you
'Cause
for talking me off the ledge last night.
That's what partners are for.
you need to talk, sweetheart.
Why didn't you tell me about Cartwright?
I feel like you think I'm some infallible hero that makes the right choice every single time. I didn't want to see the look on your face when you realized you were wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Nope.
I broke Batman's code.
You think you're the only one? Ever wonder why the Joker hasn't reared his head in 5 years?
Ooh,
He's not in Arkham.
interesting. Is that why Batman left?
The question is, how long are you gonna let it stare back at you?
Kate needed to hear this. I'm so glad.
I
Yes,
assume
yes, yes, yes,
that
yes,
you've
yes,
seen
yes.
this? Because you look good.
Team Batwoman.
hi, Mary. Kate's not Batwoman. That would be a major time suck from real estate development, her actual job.
It's fine, she knows.
Please show her the Batcave.
She knows what?
Yeah, we don't have to play this little game anymore.
What game?
She figured
So
it
you know what, Kate?
I'll let you two work this one out.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
great. So you know what? You email me that investment strategy, and I'll make sure I'll forward you back some comps about the building's blueprints, and we'll make sure to get on the numbers.
Now you're just saying words.
He's got his face. Oh my god, I did not even think that he could take his face.
Will be queen, and I will.
Oh god, they're gonna roll over
Everyone has
Arkham.
forgotten us. We'll remind them who we are,
This is gonna go very well.
and they will never.
I worry now for any kind of redemption for Kate for death. Well, she's not gonna get tortured anymore, so that's good. She's thrown away every single chance, and even this chance where, okay, I never expected her to go from here this point into trying to be good, and she's still thrown it away. Okay, so that was another fantastic episode of Batwoman. I love it so much. I love this show. Like I said, I was kind of nervous going into it about there being yet another Arrowverse show, kind of feeling a bit like there's so many, am I going to love another one? And this one is my favourite one that's currently airing, so yes. Kate, I really like that we got to see her struggling with having killed someone, because like I keep saying, you know, the person she killed was the person that kidnapped and abused her sister and turned her into Alice, or put her in the environment that turned her into Alice. You know, if you're going to kill anyone, it should be him, right? It's not like she killed just some random guy that mugged someone and didn't kill, you know, like in the same way that Bruce, obviously if we were watching his story and we saw him kill the Joker, after everything the Joker did and put him through, etc., you know, I assume it's fairly similar to the sort of stuff the Joker has done in other contexts that I've seen. You can kind of be like, okay, if you're going to kill anyone, at least it was him. You know, you don't want your heroes to kill, but at the very least, he's killing, you know, I don't know, like, it's the big bad, it's not the little bad. So, like, had Luke killed the guy that killed his dad before Kate had got there, you know, you'd still be like, yeah, I wish you hadn't done that, he should go to prison. But it would have been, you know, again, if that's the person you want to kill, then that doesn't make you a bad person. That means you're someone that's made a mistake. That means that, I don't know, I really like that they kind of showed Kate panicking and struggling, and I love that Mary, without even knowing exactly what had happened, was able to be like, look, I'm not asking you to be perfect, just keep going. And she needed to hear that, because, you know, that was what she was stressed about. The whole city sees Batwoman as this amazing, great bat, and it's kind of how she saw Bruce. So I think having Mary say that to her helped her keep going in the short run. And then getting to come clean to Luke to tell him exactly what happened, exactly what she did, and how he can then piece together how she's been acting and how she doesn't feel she deserves to be in the suit, helped Luke see that losing that piece of himself wasn't worth it. Like, you know, that piece of scum on the ground that killed his dad wasn't worth it. And, you know, I think that was beautiful, and I really brought their friendship to an even greater level, which I love. I've been waiting for Luke to get some real, like, juicy stuff, and he did. And Kate and Luke's relationship kind of went from at the beginning maybe being the weakest it's been, because she wasn't able to trust him because she didn't want to ruin his image of her, and he was frustrated because she wasn't trusting him, to the point now where they've been so open. And I think it's really important for Kate that she did hear that Bruce struggled the same way she did, because in the same way that she worries that the city is putting her up on a pedestal, that Luke was putting her up on a pedestal, she feels the same way about Batman. I mean, the whole of the city does. Batman is their great saviour and hero, and like the one they wanted to come back, etc. And so kind of learning that Bruce made the same mistake she did and struggled in the same way she did, it doesn't necessarily tarnish him as a hero, but it shows that she's okay, that she can still keep going and still be a hero. And I still do not blame her for sending Alice to Arkham. I do not agree with electroshock therapy, but, you know, she needs to be locked up in a prison, and she's she's criminally insane. So where else is she going to go when they're in Gotham? But I loved that a lot, and I love that Mary just finally, because, you know, he needed to tell Kate, you know, to snap her out of it, was like, look, I know you're Batwoman, and I've been waiting for Mary to do it, and I was kind of stressed that, like, because at the beginning Mary was like, oh, I'm the last person Batwoman would confide in. I was worried that they were going to have Mary teetering down the path of being upset that Kate hadn't trusted her and confided in her, even when she'd essentially made it blatantly obvious. But like we saw at the end, Luke was still trying to cover it up. But I love that Mary was just like, you've been my hero since we were kids, and you're still my hero now. Like, honestly, that touched me so much. Their relationship is my favourite in the show. Yeah, I think it makes me feel very sad for Alice, because like we saw with her kind of vision, she wants that kind of relationship with Kate, but she could have had it, you know, if she had taken any of the chances Kate had offered her, that could be her life right now. I mean, maybe not quite at that stage yet because she's a murderer, but you know, Alice was given so many chances and she threw them all away. And even at this point when Kate turned her back on her, and you know, it got to the point where Kate was willing to send her to Arkham, which kind of was actually what Kate wanted to do towards the beginning, but anyway, Kate, you know, tricked her and got her locked up in Arkham. She didn't turn that around into thinking, wow, what have I done that has made my sister, who wouldn't give up on me for so long, turn her back on me like that? Instead, her brain goes to, I will get my revenge, which is because she's a villain, but it's making me feel like we're less likely to get a redeemed Alice in the long run, which makes me sad because I think as a plot point that would be a really interesting one to explore. I mean, having killed Catherine, I don't know how realistic that would be with her being like a permanent team member, because Mary, I don't see ever getting to that place. Unless she was able to have therapy and get to a place where the Beth personality broke through and it was kind of like she had two personalities, and we kind of, Alice was gone and Beth was there and she was more like Beth, but I don't think that's necessarily the situation. But yeah, I'm fascinated by that. But yeah, Mary and Kate, I love their relationship, and I love that even though Kate was trying to, you know, not replace her sister, and maybe was never as close with Mary as she could have been because she felt like it was replacing her sister, etc., she still looked out for Mary and she still was her hero, and that, I love it. And it adds even more reinforcement to the fact that when Sophie was missing, that Mary would call her to let her know. And I love that Mary was not in the least bit angry. She's not been angry once that Kate is Batwoman. She's been a little frustrated, I think, that she's been like, essentially like, are you a female bat? And Kate has been like, no, I'm not, no. You know, but she's never been angry, and given that they are actually sisters, I think there's some other characters in the Arrowverse that could really use some lessons from Mary. But I just love their relationship so much, and like when Mary walked in the end, she's just going to get to know. I need her to see the Batcave, but I love the idea of Mary being able to be on Team Batwoman, you know, like her just being a part of it. When they need medical knowledge and medical assistance, they can just call Mary up. You know, Mary is just a full-fledged team member. And you know, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself shipping Mary and Luke. Like, it's not a real like hardcore ship for me, it's more just a bit of fun. But now that she knows that ship can continue to sail, similarly I feel kind of jumping ship but onto another ship, Sophie and Julia, I've got her name for a moment there, I like them together. I think it is kind of weird that she's Kate's ex, but at the same time Sophie needs to figure out who she is, and well, I mean, she knows who she is now, I think she has figured that out, but she needs to be okay with it and be comfortable with it and accept it. And I don't necessarily think Julie is the kind of person that would want anything long term. The danger of Sophie getting into a short-term relationship to figure out who she is so that she can ultimately be with Kate is that you end up using the other person, whereas I think Julie is probably, from how her relationship was with Kate and how she is, you know, she's transient, she's not someone that's chosen a life where you meet someone, fall in love and settle down with them. She is currently on loan to the Crows, but she will move on, and so she might get a little bit hurt in the long run, but I kind of feel like their relationship would be a short-term thing anyway, just a bit of fun, just something that they both enjoyed. So I think that's actually a really promising relationship for Sophie if that is something they could choose to explore. I still think she and Kate are endgame in the long run, and you know, towards the beginning of the season I was kind of thinking, is Sophie ever going to get there? But now I'm like, she is, and I'm really proud of her for kind of sticking to her guns, and you know, like her work she did trying to unravel. I enjoy the fact that they were a team. I'm waiting for the time when Sophie can properly be part of the team and know that Kate's Batwoman, but that will come. But I enjoy the fact that they kind of all were working together, and I loved the way the detonator stuff was linked in to the other stuff that we'd had. Like, it made the episode of the week, you know, the bad guy of the week, be part of the wider plot, and I really loved that. Like I mentioned, I love that Luke got some, I mean, ever since they've kind of been bringing up his father, he's had a bit more, but this episode was maybe his most. You know, we saw him being angry at Kate for not wanting to be Batwoman, or kind of, you know, not just letting her get away with it. We saw him struggling over the fact that his foot, that you being desperate to figure it out, to find any kind of piece of information. And in that scene where he had the gun on the man that killed his father and he was demanding to know why, and to find out it was just for money. You know, he was just clearing, you know, just some guy wanted a journal, and then to hear that, you know, he was just going to beat his dad up, but then he said, give him the journal or else I'll come after your son. And that's what made him fight, and that's what made the gun be shot. I mean, no one made him kill his dad, but you know, he could have just run off after he'd been beating up Lucius. But in a way, that's in a way it's nice in the sense that you're like, oh, his dad cared about him so much, but it's also like sad because it was kind of to do with him. But I don't know, I just think like that was a lot for Luke to learn. But I'm really glad that Kate was honest with him about what happened with Cartwright. So I think now they're at that point where she's seen him at his worst because he almost killed someone, and she's admitted to her worst, that she has killed someone. So I feel like hopefully they're now going to be in a place where if they have any similar great struggles and worries, they can be there for each other. And now that Mary's on team, I'm going to say Team Flash, Team Batwoman, I am very excited for more of her relationship with both of them being delved into more, and just these characters that they're my 3 favourite characters on the show. Alice is also one of my favourite characters, but because I don't she's one of the, because she's a villain, I don't like her. I don't love her. I love her, but I don't love her. That makes sense to me. But yeah, I'm really excited to see more of that. And I'm glad that the Crows have been purged of their super corrupt Crows. I'm still a bit wary of them as an organisation, just because from some of the sort of exposition we've got, they protect the wealthy over the poor, which I know that tends, in a lot of places, in America especially, I mean, I've seen it said on American shows. It probably is the same in the UK, unfortunately, but I haven't watched as many American English cop shows. But the wealthy do tend to get better. Like, wealthy neighbourhoods will get more police patrols through them than lower income. But you kind of feel like with police forces, there are some that are better than others, maybe at that. But whereas the Crows, it seems like a for-profit organisation. You know, they're not the police force. They are privately funded. So, of course, they're going to be maybe going more to the wealthy. So that is my biggest issue with the Crows, but at least they've been purged of some of the corruption, and I trust Sophie. So Sophie being in there is something that I think is really important, that I really, really trust, and I'm very intrigued about her and Julia and their task force. And she's kind of works with Batwoman now, and she's openly aware that Julia works with Batwoman, so that is something that I'm excited of development. I can't wait to see where this show goes. And where it's going to go into season 2. I mean, I know that's a long way off now, and maybe even will be even longer depending on when these lockdowns get lifted, but it's really fascinating, and I'm loving this show much more than I ever could have dreamed. So yeah, thank you for watching.